Okay, so thank you, Chelsea. So my name is Maria Rodriguez Osorio. I'm the Exchange Programs Manager at ICN Business School. And Sabrine.
And so, hello everyone. I am an exchange programs advisor at ICN Business School. So, I'm in charge of the incoming and outgoing mobility with the Canadian partners. So, if you choose to come to ICN for an exchange or a year, for an exchange like a semester or for a full year, I will be in communication with you. I was supposed to do the presentation, but I have to go. I have to leave the office in 10 minutes. So Maria is going to do the presentation for me. But yeah, I will be your advisor if you choose to come to ICN.
Okay, so let me share our presentation. Okay, so let me know if you can see it.
We can see it.
Is it, yes, it's okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So ICN Business School, we are a triple accredited French business school. So we are of the top French business schools in France. Only 1% of business schools worldwide are triple accredited. So we hold the AMBA accreditation, EQUIS accreditation, and ACSB accreditation. So after the presentation, we will share the slides, and you can have a look at this promotional video that we had this year to give you a glimpse of what our ADN is like. So our motto, and there are some nice views of our different campuses on this video. So we invite you to have a look at this video. Just a quick introduction to what our mission is. So we offer an innovative cross-disciplinary education. We want to prepare students to become responsible professionals with the necessary skills to work in a global business environment. So we are involved in creating knowledge at the crossroad of art, management, and technology. So you will see in a little while we explain why our campus in Nancy is called Artem and what is the Artem part of that is involved in our different programs. What is this Artem about? And this brings us back to our mission. So just a few facts and numbers about our school. So we are a business school. We are not part of a university. Our school is a business school. We have 3,000 students in total, and they are located in our 3 different campuses. So we have in France, we have our campus in Nancy. And we have a campus in Paris, located at the La Défense, which is a hub in Paris. And we have our 3rd campus located in Berlin, Germany. So 20%, this also brings us back to our mission, our transdisciplinary classes in our different programs. And we have over 21,000 graduate students, which creates a big network for our current students. We are very proud to have obtained the Welcome to France label. So this label is from Campus France, which is an institution in France, and it awards the excellence of ICN Business School in its support and welcome to its international students. So it's a quality standard in French higher education, and it is completely integrated in the policy for welcoming international students. Also, we are a part of the top 10 at the Happy Index at school. So students actually have to vote, and in regards to their answers, we are also certified with this label. So we have our team dedicated to international students. So at the international office, you have met Séverine, which so she will be your main contact if you are selected to come and study at ICN. And we work together with two other advisors working for different geographical zones. Frédéric Boutin is our head of international relations, and she will be more in charge of the development, the partnerships, etc. And we have Fanny El-Barouane, who is our international projects officer. So if you have the chance to come to ICN for your exchange period, you will see that she organizes many, many events, conferences, challenges, and just informal get-togethers, celebrations, etc., to integrate international students with the other international students in the other programs, and also with the French students. We also have a student association, so it's part of the curriculum of master and bachelor students to integrate one association at ICN. And so we have one association dedicated to international students. So they help students with just general questions, or they can help students open a bank account or give them any type of advice. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, we have 3 different campuses, and we also have a team dedicated to international recruitment. So not exchange students, but the full-time students, full-time international students. So we have different offices abroad taking care of international recruitment, fee-paying students. So going back to ARTEM, so in our main campus, it's our historical campus because this is where the school was created in the city of Nancy. So Nancy, it's in the northeast of France. We are 1 hour from the German border, 1 hour and a half by car from Luxembourg. And Paris is only 1 hour and a half from here by train. So we have the fast train going to Paris. So it's only 1 hour and a half. It's a smaller city than Paris, but it also has a lot of advantages. For example, for housing, it's a lot easier, a lot cheaper to find housing in Nancy than in Paris. This is our main campus at the moment, but our campus in Paris is growing, and it will be growing for the next few years. We share this campus with 2 other schools, so the School of Art and the School of Engineering, and this is where the ARTEM Alliance was created. So ARTEM stands for Art, Technology, and Management. And this is why some courses, for example, workshops in the master programs, you can choose a workshop from the School of Art or the School of Engineering or the Business School, and then you will be in groups of mixed students from these 3 different schools. So yeah, so that's the ARTEM campus. Also in our campus here in Nancy, we have Station A, which is a building right next to our main building, with different rooms and which allow this like to do work projects and allows students to work together in groups, and it's very good for example, for the workshops and things like this. So our campus in Paris welcomes bachelor and master's students. And so, as I mentioned, it is located in the business hub, La Défense. So a lot of companies have their offices there. And so it's located in the capital and most dynamic city in France. We have moved to a brand new campus since last year. And so the campus is growing, and we are hoping, at the moment, we have about 800 students on this campus. And in the next 2 to 3 years, we hope to expand to 2,000 students, which will make the total of students go up from 3,000 to 5,000. And our last campus is located in Berlin. So a modern campus located in the city center. So very modern city, multicultural city. And we offer some master programs in this campus. So getting into the detail of the program. So what can you choose to study at ICN? We have a Bachelor in Management, we have the Master in Management, and we have MSc programs. So you can choose to come for the fall, the spring, or the full year, either in Paris, Nancy, or Berlin. We have programs taught in English. Some other programs are taught in French. And the course load is 30 CTS per semester, so 60 CTS per year. Which is equivalent to 12 to 15 Canadian credits. So our undergraduate program, the Bachelor in Management, we have 2 tracks. We have the English track and we have the French track. So the calendar, it's about the same as in Canada. So beginning of September to mid-December, then we have the Christmas break, and then beginning of January to end of May. So students staying for the full year come beginning of September to end of May. If you stay for the full year, you can, and if you have already completed 2 years of studies at your home university, you can apply to obtain the ICN bachelor's degree. And the French track, you have courses during the fall semester, so mid-September to mid-December. And then during the second semester, you will do a 5 to 6 months internship and your bachelor thesis. So there are no courses in the French track in the second semester. You can only come either for the fall or the full year.
And Maria, can you get into a little bit more about like what would go into the possibility of getting the ICN bachelor degree?
Yes. So if you have already completed at least 2 years of university level and you come for the full year, so you will have to do the full course load. So the next slide, you can see the full course load. So don't be scared, because when you see this, I know that students in Canada, United States, you usually take 4 or 5 courses per semester. So the system, the education system in France is very different. And so there are many courses, but of course the course load and the number of contact hours, it's much lower for each course. So what you see here is you see different modules, and inside each module you will have 3 or 4 or 2, sometimes 2 to 4 different courses within one module. So if you are coming for one semester, you can see the courses here on the left. So you have the semester courses from September to December, and then spring on your right. So if you come and you do the full course load and you obtain the 60 ECTS credits, you can be awarded the bachelor's degree. So you will have the French bachelor's degree, plus your bachelor's degree from your home university. So yeah, so this is the Bachelor of Management. So for the Bachelor program, there are no specific tracks or specializations. It's a general Bachelor in Management. So you see, you have some courses in management, some in marketing, strategy, economy, finance, etc. In the French track, we do have different professional modules that students can choose. And so depending on the campus, so you can see it's what at the bottom, UE7 professional courses. Well, we don't have many students. I guess that we won't have many students coming in the French track, but just for your information. So we have different tracks in the French track. The English track, it will be the same for all of you. Also, we have been in contact with Chelsea and Michael from Acadia to talk about the possibility for those of you who might need upper level classes, so advanced classes. And maybe the bachelor program won't be the perfect match. We have been talking about the possibility for those students, maybe in their final year or needing to do advanced classes, to be admitted in the first year of the management program. So it will be the equivalent to a fourth year of university level. So some of you might be able to join the first year of our master program. Just one important information is that you cannot, so the schedules doesn't allow a student to mix courses. So we have fixed tracks, and you cannot choose courses and mix courses from, for example, take some courses in the bachelor program and some courses in the master program. You will have to choose one or the other, and then you will have to do the courses that are available on that track. So for the Master in Management, we have different specializations and each specialization is taught in a different campus. So you will have to pay attention to the campus, the language, and also the rhythm of study. It is worth mentioning this because this is very specific to France, I guess. I think not many countries have this study rhythm. So we have the work study rhythm, where our students, our full-time students, they can sign a contract with a company, and they come to class for 1 week. So they have a very intensive week of courses, and then they have 3 weeks where they go and they work at a company. So these tracks are also available for exchange students because actually the course load and the ECTS credits are the same in the classic rhythm or the work study rhythm. Exchange students don't have the obligation to work at a company. So during that time, you're free to find a student job or go travel. Actually, maybe even if it's surprising, some students choose to come and do their exchange in the work study rhythm. So, but if you're looking for a regular classic rhythm, courses throughout the semester, every week, we also have some programs completely taught in a classic rhythm. So this is the course offer for 22-23. We're currently updating the program offer for 24-25. So as soon as we have it, we will send the fact sheet with the updated information. So this is the Master in Management. I'm going to pass this next one because this is the second year of the master, so that's 5th year of university studies. And the other possibility is the MSc programs. So same thing, MSc programs, we have the Master 1 level and we have the Master 2. So those of you needing upper level courses can also choose to come for the Master level. So same thing, we have different campuses, different rhythms and different languages. So depending, you can choose a track, right? And then you will need to go to the campus where that track is taught, or you can choose a campus and then have a look at the programs that are offered in that campus, and then have your learning agreement be approved by your home school. So same thing, the updated offer will be available in the next few weeks, hopefully. So we will send the updated information. Same thing for the second year. So we're gonna pass this one. Oh, this one I went back. Yes, sorry. So just to mention what some events and services that we offer for our international students. So international students, exchange students, and full-time students. So we organize a lot of events, for example, integration days. We also are in charge of the buddy system. So we will match you with a local student. It can be a French student or an international student who has been living in France for more than 1 year. Also, sorry, we'll go. We do a welcome party. So students coming for the spring semester, we will invite you in January. I think it's under on your admission letter. I believe it's on January 11th that we will do a small get together. And we will invite also the international students who have joined ICN since September, so that way you can meet with them and meet with the other new students coming for the spring. And we will eat the galette de roi, which is a traditional cake that we eat in January for the Epiphany. We also have cultural activities, as I said, challenges, conferences, etc., etc. We have different departments and services for international students. For example, we have the PEPS. So PEPS is the professional experience and personal support. We have a team of psychologists if you ever need. If you're having trouble or for any personal problems, but not only, they can also help you do guidance, or you can, if you are keen on joining an association, maybe, and getting involved in voluntary work, for example. We help all the students to find and book their accommodation. We also have a career center, so they can help you find an internship for those students needing to complete an internship, etc., etc. I think that it's all for our presentation. I'm going to leave here our address if you have any questions, but the best thing for questions is to exchange directly. So if you have any questions, and also because I think I forgot to mention it, or I don't know if Kate heard. Sarah is one of our students who held an exchange at Acadia last semester. So if you have questions and you would like to, have her perspective from a student perspective, feel free to ask us any questions you might have.
I was wondering, Sarah, if you could maybe mention some of the differences between like Acadia and ICN in terms of like this student and academic experience.
I feel like the courses are not really the same. Like in Canada, we have a lot of things to do like at home, like tests and stuff like that. And in ICN, it's not the case. Like we have also a lot of group work in Acadia and ICN. That's a good thing to know. We have a lot of group work, but we don't have that many tests. I feel like we only have like tests in class and stuff like that, but not at home. So yeah, that's the differences. And also we have a lot of more courses in France, I feel like, than versus Canada. I had a lot of free time in Canada and I didn't have a lot of free time in France. So yeah, so that's good to know. So yeah.
That kind of leads into a question I have. Like course load wise, how much opportunity is there to be like flexible to travel to other parts of Europe or like, explore France? Is there lots of, well, not lots, but is there time available within your studies to do that?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't remember. It depends if you come in the fall semester or the winter semester, because I think in the fall semester you have 1 week, I think, or two, and in the second you also have 2 weeks. I think you have 2 weeks in the winter semester and 1 week or off in the fall semester. So if you come in winter, I think you will be able to travel more. But also in the fall semester, it's probably better to come because you have December and you have the winter, you have the Christmas lights. And if you come to Paris, it's like very, very amazing here in Christmas in December. So it depends on when you want to do, but I feel like if either you're coming in Nancy or Paris, you will have a lot of opportunities to travel around the city, because in Nancy, yeah, you have Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland around. If you're able to rent a car, you will do a lot of things by car. And in Paris, I mean, you have 3 big airports and you also have like a lot of train stations. So you can go to London, you can go to Amsterdam, Brussels, south of France. You have a lot of opportunities to travel if you're in Paris. If you're in Berlin, I don't know, I have been there once, so I don't really know Berlin, but it's a really nice city, I can say. But yeah.
Yes, what's something that's good in Europe that maybe some students don't realize before actually coming here. I don't know if you have already been to Europe, Kate, but the distances are nothing compared to what Canada or the US. For example, for me living here in Nancy, I can travel through 4 different countries in one afternoon. So you see, if I get in my car and I drive for 1 hour, I will be in Luxembourg, and then in 2 hours I will be in Belgium. In 5 hours I will be in Amsterdam, and then if I keep going up, I will, So the distances are so short, and the train lines are really good. So if you want to travel in train, so I think that most of the students they take weekends off and they go and they do like a different capital over the weekend. It's a good compromise. Yeah.
Thank you. I guess one other question I have as well is like, how social is the campus? Because if I were to choose ICN, I most likely would be going by myself, and obviously I'd like to make some friends.
Are you
Um,
talking Nancy or
Sarah, yes. Are you in Paris? That was my question, Sarah. I don't remember if are you in Paris or in Nancy?
I was in the Nancy campus, but it was during COVID, so there were not a lot of
Oh,
things. So I'm not the best person to talk about that, obviously. But I think there is a lot of activities for international students. I think there is an association, and as Maria said earlier, you have you have a buddy system. You have some parties to welcome you and stuff. So I think there's not going to be a problem to make friends. And in Nancy particularly, because I know in Nancy it's a lot of it's a small city, but it's a like student city, so you have a lot of things around students organized in the city. So yeah, and it's a big campus. Obviously, you will have classes. You will have group work with people, so it's not gonna be a problem, I feel like. And in Paris, I saw the campus, and it's really nice too. And I feel like there you also have like some activities organized there too. So yeah.
yes. What I would like to mention the differences, what I see, and also the feedback that we get from our students. I think one of the main differences between Nancy and Paris. So Nancy, it's a smaller city, very student friendly, let's say. We have our business school, but we have we have a big University of Lorraine. We have many engineering schools. So there are a lot of like parties and things like this for students. And also, a lot of students are local. They come from surroundings. They still live with their parents, and they live nearby because it's easy to find an apartment next to the campus or very near the campus or near the city center. So students hang around the campus a lot. We see students, gathering around or going after class and having a drink together. Paris, being a larger city, it has its advantages and the less nice things is because it's such a big city. Our campus is it's easy to go to our campus by transportation, but it's a little bit in the outside of the city. It's not in the city center. It's not in Paris. It's a little bit like in the suburbs. And also, students come from very different places in Paris. So some students, they commute to come to class. And also, we have also seen that a lot of students have a part-time job because they don't live with their parents. So I think that that's one of the differences that students, what I see, right? Like the French students, I'm talking about the French students, they tend to less hang around the campus. When they're finished their classes at 5 p.m. and they have to take a train and for an hour to get home, they usually go home, right? But Paris, there are so many things to do, theater and concerts, and so I mean, you can't get bored in Paris, right? But I think that it's important to mention those two main differences between the cities. I don't know if you agree, Sarah, but this is what I have observed, right?
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's good to know like what is like the better fit. They
Yes.
both have their pros and cons. And Kate, I could perhaps connect you with Axel. He was at ICN last year, and I dropped the YouTube link in our chat, and he and a couple of friends made this like guide to living in Nancy, France, as an international student. And one of the things that he was like really excited about his experience was he found it so easy to meet people. And like as Sarah and Maria were saying, there are a lot of different universities within the town, so everything like is student focused. Like Acadia and Wolfville are quite intertwined, and it's very student focused here, but it's like institutionally within like the community there that everything is like student orientated. So that is a really cool experience as well. And
I actually watched the video, and
Yeah.
it made me laugh because actually it is very honest. And
Yes.
you can agree or not with what they're saying, but actually you know whenever if we were to do an institutional video, we will highlight like all the positive. And the student is very honest when he's it was very funny when he was talking about like the school cafeteria and things like that. It was really it was very funny to see like their feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like something that our students have been looking more for, like the student reviews, and like they're okay with like pros and cons. They just like want to know what to expect, right? So there is not a surprise. Most of the time, it's not like a red flag or deterrent, but the
Mhm.
unknown is the mystery.
Yeah, because I suppose, Sarah, you would probably be familiar with like the process of trying to select somewhere to go abroad. And like it's
Yes.
easy. I mean, everywhere looks so good just like based off of all their material, and I could pick any of the schools, but like I guess it kind of all comes down to like the actual student experience as well as like the academics.
Yeah.
I do have, oh, sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Just one other thing that was on my mind is housing. Typically, is it like is there residence available, or is it all off campus? And like, what are the typical living situations?
Yeah, it's not the same. Like in France, it's not the Canadian vibe. Like we don't have residence and we don't have stuff like that. So it's only off campus. We have like only student residence, but it's not only with ICN. It's like for every student in France, in every student in the city for other universities. But I don't think it's available for international students. I don't know for that.
The cruise, like
Yes, the
cruise.
cruise.
No, but we do have private residence, like private student residence. So it depends on what you're looking for. Actually, students they get private owned apartments, or sometimes they live in a student residence, so a private student residence. Those residents they can offer some services. But I think most students they rent like a private for a furnished small studio apartment.
Oh,
Yes.
there are a lot of collocation also, like
Yes.
room stuff,
Yes.
have a lot.
Yeah.
So
And
we
we're
have a
having sorry, go ahead, Maria. Yeah.
no, sorry. I just wanted to mention that we do, so we don't own any residence, but we have an intern every year for 6 months at the international office, and her main mission is to help students find accommodation. So that is the first thing for all the students coming in the fall, because that's where we have the most students. So we have an intern from April to end of September helping students. We have a housing platform where you can book your accommodation through this housing platform, and it has a lot of advantages, not just the offers, but you can get like your insurance and all that through if you book your accommodation through the platform. And also because sometimes it can be difficult to find a landlord who speaks English, right? So if you book it through the platform, it's a lot easier because then all the communications go through the platform, right? What I do need to mention, and this is something that you need to be aware when you are doing your budget, there is a big difference with the prices in Nancy and in Paris. It can be double, at least double, right? So in Nancy, it will be, I don't know, around 400 euros, something like this. For the same type of accommodation in Paris, it can be 800, 900, 1,000. right? Or sometimes you will have to commute, you have to live further, like in the suburbs, to be able to find something more affordable.
So Hannah, she found housing in Nancy through the platform with ICN, and she showed me the apartment. It's very nice. I think she's like spending like 450 euros, and she gets her own room and bathroom, but then it's like a shared like kitchen space as well. So I recommend like reaching out to Hannah, because then she can kind of fill you in on her experience next semester. And she's just going through the visa process now, so she has a lot of information and knowledge to share with you. I'll also mention that we're doing the study abroad in France presentation at like 4 p.m. today, and they'll be talking about like housing resources and things like that as well. So recommend that session.
Great, thank you. So it seems like it's pretty similar price in Nancy as Acadia. And
you can also apply for housing aid. So depending on your type of visa, if you have a long stay visa, you can apply for housing aid. And I think the housing aid, is it around 140, something like that? Sarah, do you know?
Oh no, I don't
La
know.
CAF, no, appel, it's something like that. So that can, also help. Yeah, but
Yeah.
until now, I'm going to be honest, because I don't know Paris very well. So I only go to Paris when we have to go to the campus, but I have never lived in Paris. And when we opened the campus and we started welcoming exchange students, I thought that they were going to struggle. And until now, for the last years, we've had, because now we have this new campus, but before we had programs running in Paris already. We have never had a student, contact us and saying, I don't know what to do. I haven't found accommodation. So they all find accommodation.
It's just it's a little difficult in Paris to find it. It's more difficult to find it in Paris.
More difficult, yes.
I live in Paris now, and I struggle a bit to find something in Paris. So that's just an important thing to know.
Yeah, thank you.
And Campus France, they will mention some like scholarships that are available to like Acadia students going abroad to France next year. And they do have like more preference for students that go for the full year versus like one semester. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So if you're looking for financial aid, the Campus France people are a really good resource for that. I just learned a lot from them. So
thank you.
And Sarah, I was wondering, what made you like choose Acadia for your exchange?
Well, I wanted the English part of Canada, so that's why I didn't go to Quebec. Even if I wanted to go to Montreal, I was like, no, I'm gonna speak French, so it's not a good thing. And yeah, I was like, okay, it's a small city, so that's maybe something I wanted to try, because I lived in Paris 1 year before going to Wolfville. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's try it. And also I read a lot of things like it's really good for international students to meet and stuff. So the bad part, I would say, it's like I would only made international students friend in Canada when I was in Wolfville. I didn't really meet a lot of Canadian people. I was working with them in like school work, but they were not really my friend, and I really make friend with an international students. So I think that's something. I hope it's not like that in France, because I think if you come to France, you wanted to like make also French friends, not only international students from everywhere in the world, even if it's like a good thing. But yeah, so that's, and yeah, I don't know. And also I feel like, yeah, Wolfville was a good thing for me. So yeah.
Yeah. So you liked it both ways. I find what you said is a common theme, where it is easier to meet exchange friends. It is easier to meet international friends, because you're all kind of new and like looking for those friendships, whereas like local people already have their friend group, especially if they like live close to the university, in the case of like Acadia and ICN as well. So you can make local friends. It just takes a little bit of persistence. And I'm hoping that at Acadia, we can kind of improve that culture. As more students want to go abroad, then they'll start welcoming more temporary friends into their friend groups.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I notice it from being a permanent Acadia student that there's not much like mingling between international students and like local students, I guess, which I always think is something like our school can improve on, because I know there's lots of like mingling events for international students, but there's not much like crossover. And did you live in residence?
Yes, I live in Tower.
Yeah, so that's yeah, I find also a lot of people like make, at least at Acadia, make like friend groups within first year and then move off campus. So that's probably another factor. Yeah, but definitely something Acadia could work on.
Yeah, well,
thank
especially
you.
as you're preparing to go abroad, right? You're interested to meet students that are like already at Acadia from ICN, and then when you want to when you come back from your exchange, you want to keep that community alive and feel connected to your
Exactly.
exchange program still. So that is something we can work on together, Kate.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm hoping, I've spoken to my roommates. I'm the only one planning on going abroad, so we're hoping that maybe we can match up with like an incoming student who can take my place, because I live with 6 other girls who are all local, so be probably a more integrated experience maybe that way.
Yeah. Maybe just I was talking to Mackenzie about that whole thing too, about doing like a friend exchange.
Yeah, exactly.
They take your house, they take your friends, and then you switch back.
Exactly.
That's a great idea.
My friends
Yeah.
were saying it would be like an exchange for them, except they don't have to go anywhere or spend any money. So
Yeah, it's internationalization at home.
exactly.
Yeah.
There is
Exchange friend
also
host.
one. There is also one reason why sometimes in France it could be difficult for French students to like really integrate the international students. Is they are very shy in speaking foreign languages.
Yes.
So because they even those it might be easier in those involved in the English taught programs, but even then, they speak English because they have to, and then outside of that, they can speak French with their friends. So I guess it's easier for them. And actually, we also used to have like all the events only for international students. And this is something that we have been changing since the arrival of our international projects officer. Now we do a lot of events where we invite both like the local students and the international students. Just I think it was 2 weeks ago, we did a pétanque tournament in Nancy. So pétanque, it's a like a traditional national sport where you have to aim at you have a metal balls, and you have to aim at a smaller ball on a I think it's sand or dirt floor. Sorry. And so we invited so French students and international students, and the groups were mixed. They were mixed. Also, we do a cafe lingua. So every week during the at noon, and international and local students, they can come and they can practice foreign languages. It can be English, it can be Spanish, it can be French for the international students wanting to learn French. And so this is something that we are also working on, because and it's thanks to students like you who, they have said, well, why is it that we don't ever get to see the local students?
Yeah, that's great. And I definitely, if I do go to ICN, would definitely want to brush up on my French, as I only have as much as Nova Scotia Public School gives you, which is very minimal.
Which is already a lot more than some students. Some students come to ICN and they speak not
No.
a single word of French. And actually, you have French courses also during the semester.
Oh,
And we
great.
do see the difference when we see the students at the end, and a lot of them improve their French.
Mm.
Yeah, you kind of get forced to improve it if you want to go out like shopping or traveling and going to maybe some more rural areas. So it's a nice way to get an accelerated language learning. And then you have to just join the French club back at Acadia so you don't lose it.
Exactly.
Well, Kate, did you have any other questions before we leave?
I think that covered it all for me. Thank you guys very much for answering my questions, and it's a very informative presentation.
Thank you, Sarah and Maria. Sarah, would you be interested to connect with students if they wanted to ask any other questions, like via email or social media?
Yes, of course. I have LinkedIn, or maybe I can put my email address on the chat.
Yeah, that would be appreciated. It's always nice to learn peer-to-peer. You have more of an insight than some of the administrators do.
Yeah. And if you really come, and I'm still in Paris when you come, or in Nancy, we meet if you're just feeling meeting someone. So yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay. Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Well, thank you both. Merci.
Thank you.
We'll be talking more
And
soon.
yes, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any remaining questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
good day.
Good day.
Bye.
Merci, Sarah.